Hello there, CHSF 2107 students. I hope you're all doing well. I'm just making this quick video for you as I've gotten a couple questions about the assignment, and I think instead of writing long, well, I just figure there might be some benefit to making a quick video going over it. Um, with this assignment, really, I don't want this to be a huge deal for people to some massive assignment. Really, the idea is just to dive into one of these 7 articles slash chapters. Another question I had is down here in my questions, I use the word chapter, so I just changed it because to chapter or article, right? Because some of these things you're going to notice are like a chapter out of a book, and some of them are a journal article. Um, so so the question will be like, if you read one of the chapters, then just interpret it that way. And if you read an article, just interpret it that way. It's the same question. Okay, so basically all I want you to do with this, and there's 2 reflection activities. Basically, this class, there's the quizzes related to my presentations. Then there's going to be this reflection and another reflection sort of related to some of the readings. And then there's going to be our quest assignment, which I'll explain that later. And then our final assignment, well, which you'll see later. I don't want to leak that yet. Okay, so once you look at all the articles or pick your article, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Once you pick your article, then I just want you to basically answer these questions, not to overthink it, right? Like basically, I'm asking you to do a pretty straightforward article slash book review on this, right? Like when I say explain it like you're explaining it to your friend, what do I mean by that? One of the things I mean is just, well, cause say if you tell your friend like, "Oh, this movie I saw last night was awesome," and they're like, "Okay, well, what was awesome about it?" And you like, what would I think it's just a way to kind of get your mind into thinking about what are some of the key points, like what are some of the interesting things about the article, and it can be things you either agree with or disagree with, and that's what I'm saying in chapter 2. Like, what do you think about, or question 2, what did you think about those ideas? Like, does that kind of align with what you think? And then the third part, like what ideas in that chapter do you think are most relevant to developmental psychology, to a course like psychology where we're looking at how people age and all the dynamics and influences and social pressures related to that. All right, and you don't have to, sometimes these responses can bleed together, especially if you're like gonna do a video or whatever. It's like you don't have to have completely equal time to all those parts, but I just basically want you to comment on what are the key parts of the article or chapter that you're reading, and then what did you think about it? Like critique it a bit, or why you agree with it, and then the last part is what do you think is the relevance for it specifically to psychology? And then in terms of like the format, what I'm saying is just like your kind of traditional paper, you don't need any sources outside of just this article, right? And you can find there's in the syllabus you'll see um these are all articles out of week 2. So if you go in the syllabus you could find the citations for all these, but I also have the hard copies for all of them. If you go onto our site under like, I forget what I called it, but like course materials archive or something, or course readings archive or something like that, and then just go under week 2, and this is where you'd find all this. Right? And I'm saying there, like, since I don't teach you in person and since I don't have tons of like FaceTime with you and tons of time to like answer a whole bunch of questions and stuff, one thing I think if you talk to any of my past students, they'll say is, I hope that I try to set up assignments. There's been so much issues with the quiz, trying to get the technical piece of it going. But at least in my heart, I'm trying to set up assignments as clearly and straightforwardly as I can. The idea is like, watch the presentations, do the quiz on the presentations, pick your article, answer a few questions, put a bit of heart and soul into it, and we'll all be good. It's like I kind of care about that idea of like how seriously you take it, how clearly you present your idea. I call that clarity of insight, the depth of your discussion, and then just kind of your overall writing quality. There's a rubric that I use, but like basically, I'm just looking at how well you address those 3 questions, how deeply and how clearly. All right. I hope this video is kind of helpful. I just kind of wanted to just rant for a sec about what I'm sort of looking for in this assignment. And at the most core level, it's almost like just think of what a book review is, right? And some of them are chapters and some of them are articles, but read it. What are the key parts? What do you think about that? And what do you think is directly relevant to psychology, developmental psychology specifically? And then you can do that either in a written response or, and as a lot of you did last term, if you wanted to do kind of like a podcast style response, or if you wanted to make a PowerPoint, or if you wanted to just like record yourself responding it to it, sort of like I am, and have a bit of some notes about what you wanted to talk about and try to keep it around like 5 minutes or so, then you're free to do that too. All right. Take care and more coming soon. Cheers.